You should pull for Gilberta. Gilberta, invest for the future, unleash the potential. With Levitane's banner behind us, you might begin to wonder, is Gilberta worth pulling? The answer to that is yes. So, let me explain Gilberta's kit first before I say why you should pull. Gilberta is a support character that deals nature infliction, lift, and art susceptibility on enemies. She also has the ability to group enemies. She deals nature infliction on her battle skill, lift on her combo skill, and both nature infliction and lift on her ult. Future me here, I'd like to make a correction in regards to what I said about Gilberta's ult. Her ult doesn't actually inflict the lift status, she just makes the lift status last longer. So therefore, you're primarily just using it for art susceptibility and the slow debuff, as well as the nature infliction that it provides. Her ultimate also inflicts slow and inflicts art susceptibility based on the vulnerable stacks on enemies. So she's an art support that scales based on the amount of times she lifts enemies, since vulnerable stacks are inflicted when the enemies are lifted. While bosses aren't going to be affected by her grouping, the vulnerable stacks from lift are still going to affect the boss, meaning that she still scales even if her crowd control tool doesn't work. Her best in slot weapon would be her signature weapon. I mean, it's obvious, but it pretty much complements her kit 1-to-1. So let me explain. Delivery Guaranteed helps with her ultimate game, gives more nature damage, and has conditionals based on lift. Her team gains an increase of arts damage dealt when applying lifted, and for every enemy lifted, the team gets a bonus of arts damage dealt. Remember that she lifts enemies when using her combo skill and ult, meaning that you can proc this frequently. The Battle Pass weapon, Opus Etched Figure, is a solid alternative but will provide a weaker buff than her signature. With the Battle Pass weapon, the arts damage dealt buff will be applied when inflicting nature infliction, meaning that it gets applied when you're using your battle skill and ult. It too also scales based on the amount of enemies with nature infliction, but it is harder to get the buff as you are relying on her battle skill rather than her combo skill. She also doesn't get the benefit of ult gain efficiency when using this over her signature weapon, meaning that it does feel a bit slower than her signature weapon. Other weapon alternatives include Stanza of Memorials for a generic attack buff for operators that have a different element from Gilberta, and the 4-star weapon Fluorescent Rock. Her best in slot gear is currently the Eternal Share Knight set for a team-wide damage boost, ultimate gain efficiency, and intellect buff. For early game, use the Catastrophe set since it benefits her primary and secondary attribute, which is will and intellect. Skill priority would be her ult over her battle skill, over her combo skill, over basic attack. Ultimate first since this boosts the debuff multipliers, and then battle skill since this is good for nature infliction and crowd control. Combo skill is only really used for the lift status, so it's not really a priority, and basic attack is, well, something that you do during your downtime. For teams, you can slot her in any arts team. She would be best in slot in the electric team on group scenarios, but she can still work even if it's a boss encounter. It's just that Antal is a goated unit. She's also the best in slot with Yvonne because of her grouping and nature infliction. And she can even work with Levitane, though she's not really the best in slot on that team. And now, we talk about why you should pull. Yes, Ardelia is a great generalist support, and you can make the case of skipping Gilberta since you already have a generalist support that even works on physical teams, by the way. But Gilberta is more of a specialist than Ardelia. Gilberta specifically benefits teams that need grouping and only works on arts team compositions. She also gives a stronger arts buff than Ardelia, and that Gilberta has insane future value. The fact that she specializes on arts teams that needs crowd control makes her a strong contender for a future team composition that currently doesn't exist. She is the only NFT that actually gives you a return on investment. Gilberta is the potential woman of Endfield, not because she cannot reach her potential, but because she already has the potential to be even better than she already is. She's already a great unit to pick up, and she only gets better over time. And this is why you should invest on MessengerCoin, the cryptocurrency that goes up in value as you invest on it. You can even spend it like an actual currency right now and get the value for the investment you made. Gilberta is straight up great on Arts Team's compositions that can be used right now. You don't even have to wait for the future value of her to pop out before you can even use her. It might not be a must pull right now because there are great alternatives to her. Gilberta, however, is an investment you won't regret. I mean, just look at how adorable she is. Yes, we will spread the Gilberta propaganda far and wide. Let every Enfielder know that they should invest everything for Gilberta. Put all your Orbels, yes, all of them, on MessengerCoin today. Invest for the future, unleash the potential. Before I end this video, there's a few things I'd like to say. First of all, I will pull Gilberta by the time I get the 7th day login reward. So stay tuned for that and stick around if you want to see me pull Gilberta. Second, potential woman DPS comp? Potential woman DPS comp.